What's good, GATV family? It's your boy Gravitating Away, and we right back at it again. Now, to startling news for me, the good brother, Star, on his Star Report platform on YouTube, stated that recently Brother Polight missed a court hearing. And I don't know what type of fool misses a hearing that important, but misses a court-ordered hearing, and now he has to surrender his passport. I saw some comments, and people were saying like, oh, he's trying to ditch the states, he's trying to fly away from all the scam money he's taking in. But I wanted to talk about something more serious pertaining to this matter. Now, if you don't know the things surrounding Brother Polight, and some of you may not even know who's a Brother Polight, period. People are calling him PEDO-LIGHT, and that joke will make reference shortly. But this is a brother that back in 2021 was arrested for allegedly assaulting a teenage daughter of his female companion, thought buddy, I don't know, somebody he was smashing probably. The brother does grift like no other. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed, you got heavy company. But, I digress. The brother was allegedly accused of fondling the young girl after drugging her, making sure her alcohol was laced. They went further into details that I know you guys don't have that paperwork, but it was instances of smoking with her, whatever, giving her crush pills. Really had her inebriated to the point he fondled her up. Even DNA that they have of his on her body. I mean, I don't know how that happens and you're innocent. But, we can't cater to the status quo when it comes to the media and law enforcement. As we know, a lot of good brothers have been unjustly accused. But when I smell one, yo. I just wanted to give you a quick insight if you don't know who this brother is. Many years ago, I had a lot of folks telling me about him, and I'm talking about 12, 13 years ago. So I used to check him out as I used to watch my Hebrew Israelite videos. I like a good debate conversation, so I used to watch it. And there was this intruder, as they say, Mr. PEDO-LIGHT, I'm sorry, Brother Polight. He used to just bounce around with his big comedic group. And it's like typical black intelligence, right? We have all this knowledge, but let's just go back and forth with each other in the middle of the street, in public, show a discourse of ideas and thoughts until when the dust settles, nothing was accomplished. Just bravado, egotism, bouncing amongst each other. And what I mean is, let me show you some of it. This is who this brother is. This is what he used to do, and this is how he became known and had his acclaim to fame. Arguing with Hebrew Israelites in the streets. And if you ever seen anything funny, the funniest things I ask you guys, go look at Hebrew Israelite videos with them going back and forth with patrons in public. It's some of the most funniest things. And I'm not knocking down what they subscribe to, but I'm just saying, in general.
You can film over this. We'll go live.
This is Mr. Polight over here.
I'm with my good brothers, the Hebrew Israelites in Miami.
You shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called,
we're going to have a nice bill.
When I spake, you did not hear. But then
Miami,
GMS. Hey, cuz, you didn't see that he called him when he called you.
Say it again, brother.
Hey, read that scripture again, because he out there moving his phone.
Again, imagine you're, conducting your own activity, your own message, your own lessons, all that. And then you got a brother walking around with a camera just to show you what he knows. And you got to be careful for these types, man. There's a lot of brothers that have the skill to retain information. And unfortunately, the many of us somehow thinks that means, you're authentic. That means you're somebody that we should support because you can retain information, you can articulate articulated wonderfully. And now imagine a master grifter scammer that has this skill of retaining information, just like the likes of a Tariq Nasheed. And so many of them, Rizza Islam, the Scientologist, all these brothers are very well spoken, great orators, good at retaining information, but the dangers that they have is their influence and manipulation. And all of this will make sense when I come to it. But this is what this brother does. He goes back and
12-year-old doesn't have the mind of an 18-year-old. I know damn well a 12-year-old don't have the mind of a
society. Because of the society.
What's
if
the
you
matter?
have a child from youth and you raise your child, hey, at a certain point in your life, you're going to become an adult, you're going to become a woman. When that child gets to that age, he's going to take in the role. This society
It's funny they're talking about children. Yes, pun intended.
teaches you to baby your child and doesn't
I agree with
don't
that part.
show it.
I agree with
Alright,
that
so
part.
that's why back then, since the child was born, your job was to raise your child to take on the
We're
world.
going to forward some of this.
I can have sex with a minor, shouldn't be shot.
1 Corinthians
Go ahead.
6 and 12.
This particular conversation was about having carnal relations with minors. Interesting. And see, the thing is, I had relatives telling me, particularly a few cousins and some friends telling me, oh, this is the brother you gotta listen to. God, this is the brother you gotta listen to. And I tell them constantly, take everything with a grain of salt, man. You know, I've seen well-spoken brothers all my life. I dealt with the nations of gods and nerves. I've dealt with the nation of Islams. I've dealt with Hebrew Israelites because I love knowledge and I seek it. I've dealt with homeless people that you would dismiss in the street, and they brought the best gems, the best food for thought that you could ever have. Way sincere than these grifters and scammers over here. So I'm not impressed by good speaking people. It's the work that I need to see in you. And all along, he gained subscribers, Polight that is, notoriety, never the work. He misused the sacred values of what he calls polygamy, really calling a bunch of women that are whores, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it, whores his wives. In particular, this pretty little Becky over here, you know, he called her his African queen. And you can look this up on Google, wherever. And when he faced backlash for the woman wearing African attire over here, I don't know why it even matters that she's wearing African attire. There's so much issues going on in the community to be worried about some white woman perpetrating your culture. Nonetheless, Brother Polight made sure he said it doesn't matter that she wears African attire or not, because she's one of his quote-unquote queens. This is the brother that you guys and other men like him, but you guys, men and women, follow these grifters and you channel them up here for you to now want to be on the side of righteousness because this picture comes out. And here's the thing. You could have an amazing brother. I'm not talking about Polight. There are men out there that are sincere in their efforts and what they do for the community, right? And the powers that be knows the dangers of their influence, and what they do, they'll put a picture like Polight's out here and arrest, and they defame the name. They go after the name. That's the game, y'all. They destroy your name. But no way I am protecting this brother over here. Polight, you are now deemed a flight risk. I don't know if you guys understand this, but how the hell you gonna have a charge such as pedo affiliated and not show up to a hearing? You got everybody talking about, oh, well, he has money, he's paying for a lawyer. Lawyer handles that. That didn't, go the way that y'all saying. This brother didn't show up in court. Forget the treatment that Wack gave him on Clubhouse, calling him out the way you're supposed to do to these pedos. But this brother literally didn't show up in court, proving a lot of things that I feel about his said allegations. Look, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. This is Gravitating Away. Like, share, comment, subscribe. All I'm trying to tell y'all, man, is Brother Polight, Brother PEDO-LIGHT. It's just another character that we created. We create these characters because we refuse to do research. We refuse to just step back and say, man, I'm impressed, but let me watch. Because you guys forget the key critical component of what makes a man or woman great. It's not what they say. It has always been what they do. There's no building going on. There's no building going on. And as much as I love the nation and the message they give, the NOI that is, I love the nation. You cannot tell me anything that I haven't understood, researched, been a part of. But I haven't seen a lot of building, just a lot of talking. So when you're looking at a Brother Polight and you're looking at a recent chain of events as him not even showing up in court, this brother literally is offered a plea deal. A plea deal, yes, he hasn't taken the plea deal, but more interesting and more important, he hasn't dismissed the plea deal. I don't know if you guys know about legalities, but he can literally turn down the plea deal. He hasn't turned down the plea deal. You know, I have people come to me and say, well, he's considering his options. And it's like, what options, bro? Principle alone deems me to fight for my innocence, for my justice. And you better believe if you attach such a thing as being a pedo to my name, that's something worthy of death to fight for. So listen, Brother Polight, all the prancing around you was doing, them boys said, we need that. We need that. Give up that passport, brother. Ain't no dodging this bullet. You gonna stand here and take it. And you better be lucky you're not in certain environments where village justice trumps all. Look, man, I'm not really trying to hold y'all. I just wanted to give you an insight into who this brother is. And for the women that had the nerve of really falling for this brother's games, this is what he caters to and subscribes to. Becky over here with the good hair, as they say. Nah, man, I don't want to spend too much time on it. You know, I've seen everybody come out and speak on this. This is a brother that I ain't no Johnny come lately to. I've been watching him on his so-called rise and apparently fall since like 2010, 2009. And even back then, I always knew that, hey, man, a man with no works and just words is a brother I always should pay attention to. Forget the claims that everybody had of him scamming. Forget the claims that everybody talked about the many wives he had, because I don't have a problem with that. If you treat a woman equally and fair, you should have, just like our ancestors did, as many wives as you want to. It's the grifter component. The scam artist smell on him, I never liked, I never appreciated. And just brothers going back and forth with one another like the many of you do on YouTube, but there's no works. There's a lot of stuff I do outside of here. I even have them on my channel. They don't get any views. And I've been being taught time and time again, don't show everything I do on this platform. I'll give you guys an inclination of it. I might show a video of two. For instance, a lot of the children that I work with who graduated, I just had a video out there. I posted it. But nonetheless, I'm not really trying to come on here and tell you all my plans. The ones that do the work, you'll never see us grift like this. I promise you. But keep supporting these no names on YouTube who you don't know their backgrounds. You just subscribe to them because you see the views. You guys are worse than whores. I'm sorry. You guys are worse than whores because your action propels the likes of a Brother PEDO-LIGHT over here into greatness where they are not deemed worthy of. I'm out, man. Just hit that notification bell for me, y'all. But stay with it, stay true to it, and call all these fakes out. Keep your foot on their necks with no apologies. That's how it works. They're gonna call you haters. They're gonna call you, you're this, you're that. I don't care. Because somebody's gotta do it, man. A lot of y'all are just groupies and fanboys. And let the real man take the stage. Say less.
If is love, I want everything. Touch my soul, touch my heart, don't judge my mental. They told me that life is simple, been real since Papa Pimple. I started out in the Renault Sonata, the presidential. Speak once and listen twice, they told me that less is simple.